All right, folks, this is Mr. O'Brien, and this is the video of pages 11 and 12 in the Dr. Toer's Amazing Magic Lantern Show Viewer's Guide. So page 11 is White Terror. So two paragraphs only. Reconstruction was a bloody era. Many Southern whites responded to African American freedom with rage and violence. Whites battered, whipped, raped, shot, hung, and mutilated freed men and women throughout the Reconstruction years. In the early 1870s, some 20,000 black men, women, and children had been killed by whites. Today, historians disagree about the exact numbers, but most believe thousands of African Americans were victims of white terror. In fact, there was a statue in Louisiana a few years ago that was taken down that was honoring one of these massacres. It was called the Battle of so-and-so, but it was a massacre. Next paragraph, some white violence was random, but more often terror was used to resist racial equality and return power to white hands. The Ku Klux Klan, which drew wide support from Southern whites, served as a military arm of the Democratic Party. Black politicians, African American voters, and interracial political groups were favorite targets for Klan attack. All right, when we eventually watch excerpts from the movie Birth of a Nation, the Klan will be depicted as the heroes of the South that save Southern states from the so-called incompetent buffoonery of freed people, and they redeem each Southern state. All right, so let's get to page 12. The Klan and other groups also served to enforce economic inequality, encouraging, quote-unquote, African Americans to work for whites and punishing those who complained about ill treatment or fraudulent contracts by arresting them or terrorizing them. Assaults on leaders of labor protests were common, as were attacks on independent African American farms, schools, and churches. Some African Americans fought back with violence, but they were outgunned. Others appealed to Congress, and in 1872, the Army and federal courts intervened against the Klan. Ulysses S. Grant, for example, as president, tried to go after the Klan, and in some places he was successful, and some he was not. Soon, white violence began again.